When you're chasing greatness, just remember, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do.
Hello everyone, it's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. And I am actually joined here by an Oceanic player going by the name of Haeri. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you were the mid laner for the team Order, which was ran by Spawn, as everyone probably knows about.
Yep. I guess that's me. Hey.
So,
Thanks for having me, I guess. Yep.
how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. How was it like playing on Order this past year?
I think it's been pretty funny. Like, I guess COVID-19 really sucks for us because we had to travel since we play in Sydney, but we're a Melbourne team and we couldn't travel, so that kind of sucked. But I mean, playing online is it's pretty comfortable for most of us, so there's no nerves or anything. And I think I actually played better split 2, and we did perform better as a team split 2. So we finished second place for second split, and I think like Order it was my first year being on Order, and it was a pretty good year for me on my standards. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty good overall.
Before we get into the stuff that, people probably are going to want to ask you later on, what was it like playing for a competitive League of Legends team?
So I'm a very competitive guy, and I love competing against other people, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons why I got to play pro and I was allowed to just compete, I guess, just because of my personality. But I find it really fun, and also just having a job that you enjoy, but also you're earning money while just playing a game is it's pretty sick, right? And it's a one in a life opportunity, especially at my age. So I'm just taking the most out of it, I guess.
What do you think were your biggest challenges as being a mid laner, actually playing up against other mids that were around your skill level, actually? Because people are going to look at legacy esports that actually had that really, really close game against LGD at the 2020 World Championship. So how was it like playing up against them? Like, how was it like playing up against like Tally?
I think actually, like, comparing last year and this year, like, a lot of the mid laners actually left. So I don't know if you know, but like Ryoma, for example, was from Earth, and he played in 100 Thieves this year. Yeah, Triple. He went to FlyQuest Academy.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Also Swiffer, he retired and he went coach to Excel. So it was actually I had an easier time this year because a lot of the great mid laners left, but also like Tally, he's a great player. I think he's very smart, and not just him. There's other good mid laners, but whenever you're competing against someone that's good as you, like, you're just gonna improve, right? Like, because they're gonna punish your mistakes. Like, it's always gonna be a challenge, and I guess that's what makes players improve. And I think my performance from split 1 to split 2 was a big improvement, and towards playoffs, I think I did play well, but obviously we came short and lost to Legacy in the finals. So that was a bit unfortunate, but.
So, what do you think contributed to you getting better between split 1 and 2?
I think actually I usually get very nervous when I play. Especially when I had to play in the studio, and I think before game I would get a lot of nerves. But because of COVID and we had to play online, like, playing in our gaming house just felt like we were screaming, and I was just like very comfortable. I mean, I guess that's the same for like every other player, but also I think my confidence, like, I think I was a lot more confident like going into split 2 in just my own ability and as a team. And yeah, I think those two are probably the main reasons, and I think confidence is actually really important for pro because you need you obviously need confidence to win and to play on your own abilities. So yeah, I'll say those are the reasons.
So when you guys are playing best of ones and then your team moves on to go play best of fives in the next
Yep.
rounds, what is the difference you would say is between best of ones and best of fives? The biggest difference.
I think the biggest difference is obviously draft,
Mm-hmm.
because if there's many players that are capable of having a big champion pool, and obviously that makes the draft very flexible in this like best of fives, and I think that really helps the coach and like the players just for the draft sake. But also I think mentality is very important. I think I learned that like playing both playoff split 1 and 2. And also just I think taking care of yourself, actually playing in the best of 5, because you don't want to get like too hungry, and also you don't want to eat too much, and it's like having that good mental headspace is really important, I think, playing in playoffs. Whereas best of 1, like you never know what's gonna happen. You're just playing one game, so there's no stress. I guess best of 5 is a lot more pressure as well,
Mm-hmm.
considering you're playing 5 games and not just one game. So yeah, but I think the biggest change is probably draft.
Okay. So, like every person usually who doesn't really know that much about the game, people like on Reddit and Twitter analysts. So,
Yeah.
people always think they know how to draft perfectly. Like if they were in that spot, they would know how to draft for like any team. You could
Yeah.
be drafting for like a Brazilian team, and Reddit would know how to draft for them. So,
Yeah.
what do you think people don't understand when it comes to competitive teams drafting versus your average solo queue game?
Yeah. So competitive drafting is obviously a lot more different to solo queue. Solo queue, you just pick what you're good at, what you want to play, and you don't really care about like your other team's champions. But I think what people don't realize is obviously we have a coach for drafting, and I mean if those people are better at drafting, or if they know how to draft, then they wouldn't be a coach, right? So I guess draft in competitive scene, you have to really think about what that player can play. You got to think about the coordination of those 5 champions. You got to think about enemy champions, and you also like I think the bans are very important. I think bans can really change the draft. So there are different factors that people probably don't know, and also if you don't know what's going like on behind the team, like in the scene, obviously you're not gonna really know what they're thinking and stuff. So um, yeah, you just gotta trust that the players and the coach knows better than you, I guess.
So because like people always say like you should have banned this and this, like
Yeah,
when you're banning those champions, do you
yeah,
also kind of factor into your other players, like you're taking away their comfort picks, but now you're putting them potentially in a favorable position to do better in the lane, so that way you're enabled to do better as well? Because what I noticed with a
yeah,
lot of people, or that I've seen like that have played competitively over the years, because I started watching League and started playing back in 2014. What I've noticed
yeah,
that like if you can't play a certain strong pick and you throw a player on a pick they generally just aren't comfortable on, it could go
yeah,
like one of two ways. Either you play it really well, or it only does well just to be a serviceable pick, just so they could get through the laning phase, or
yeah.
at a certain part of the game that they're struggling on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've noticed, but what is your take
Yeah.
usually?
So when it comes to the meta and like the very strong picks, as you mentioned, I think as a pro, it's very important that you get comfortable on the champions, because usually the meta champions are like perma banned. So like
Yeah, like now it's just TF. Yeah.
yeah, like TF, like Lucian for example is always banned. So there are champions that are always banned, but I guess like if you don't play those champions, then the enemy doesn't need to ban that champion. But if they can play it, then we have to ban it, right? So like, I think comfortability on a champion is very important, and I think especially in a wildcard region, I think that's probably a bigger factor than like the major regions, since the skill levels like low on average. But Yeah, I think your job as a pro is you should always get comfortable on the middle champs. So like the enemy has to ban it or you have to ban it, and you should never really get into a situation where you're not comfortable playing the middle champs because then you're just not practicing the correct champs. So I think that's my take. Yeah.
So everyone who didn't actually watch the OPL 2020 season,
Yep.
Haeri finished with Order Academy at 4th place in Split 1. You guys lost to Direwolves, obviously in a very, very close series. Then in Split
Yep.
2, you guys reached 2nd place, actually, and you fell to Legacy Esports. So you guys actually could have been at Worlds, which is
Yeah,
crazy
could
to think
have.
about. And
Yeah.
so before we go to the other bigger thing, what did you think about Legacy Esports' performance at Worlds 2020?
Yeah. So I was actually very surprised. I think they overperformed. Because I think, like, if you look at last year's lineup, like 4 of those players, like they all went overseas. So Mammoth went to Worlds, and like 4 of them went overseas. And I thought this year was a lot worse in terms of lineup comparing last year. But I think this year's performance has been probably OSI's best performance by far in Worlds or any
That's
international
crazy. Yeah, considering
tournament.
what came
Yeah,
afterwards. Holy crap.
yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to me, and I do think that it gives me hope because it makes me know that there isn't like a big difference in terms of skill, and we can take games off the major regions. So it is good news, I guess. And also, I mean, like we performed really well. Like Legacy, it was like the first time OS ever did well, and like OPL's disappearing, so it does kind of suck. But yeah, I think Legacy did really well.
There was that game they had against LGD, the game
Yep.
2. I personally think, this is just me and noticing how upsets work usually from watching
Yep.
since 2014. If they win that game, I personally think they win the next game, and then it actually goes to a best of 5. I'm not saying they would beat LGD, but
Yep.
I think that game, if you win that game in your position, and they had the better draft, I still think they had the better draft. They had every counter to LGD's draft. They just misplayed at like various moments where it was like, oh crap. And then after that, like you saw their faces, they were like, okay, like we missed our shot at a comeback because they figured
Yeah.
us out. So
Yeah.
like, what do you think really contributed to that crucial game 2 loss they actually had? Because they were actually winning most of it. They won every single team fight. They would
Yep.
lose like members because of like dragons and how the dragons stack now. But do you think during that game 2 against LGD, if they win that game, do you think they actually make a run for at least the best of 5? Like the entire series goes the distance?
Yeah, I think for sure, like that would have probably increased the chances by a lot because, as a player, I know that for sure. In a best of 5, when you're winning a game and you kind of throw and the enemy wins, that really takes a toll on your mental. So, like winning that game would actually give Legacy so much confidence, and because if they win, also they know that they can take games off LGD. And I guess that would just be such a big confidence boost that in going forward for the best of
because some
5,
people
like it
look
would
at like
actually,
nameplates and
yeah,
they always get like mentally thrown off from that. It's like, oh my
yeah,
god, I'm facing
100%.
Shie right now. I don't know what I can
Yeah.
do. And then if you're winning team fights and you're actually able to contest them at least in
Yeah,
objectives, it's like, okay, maybe they're not this scary. And that would
yeah,
have been a great
100%.
thing for them if they had won that game. But throwing is a thing, so
Yeah. I mean, it was very unlucky. I was watching the game and
I was
I remember they lost Dragon Soul, I think, like the
yeah.
Mountain Soul, and yeah, I mean that really sucked. And they just lost one team fight, and Cassidy got like the quadra, I think, and after that it's just really hard. So yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but I mean, yeah.
And then now we finally move to the last part, which is Oceania. Well, the OPL is
Yep.
closing for your competitive League of Legends esports for the moment. For at least the Riot side, you guys can still have your own like third party OPL. It's just not Riot sanctioned. So, what was your first initial thoughts when you first heard this news?
Obviously it's a heartbreaker because also I didn't really get like a warning. I was just told, like I wasn't ready for this, and I was just kind of told that information. And also there wasn't any extra information from right side. It was just like, oh, OPL's gone, and that's it, kind of thing. So I mean, I do feel for the whole Earth community, and I mean, it does directly impact probably like 100 plus like people and the fans, obviously. So it's very disappointing and unfortunate, but also maybe it can create opportunities for the like stronger players in going overseas. Now that we count as NA residents, so it's like it's like one not like good news for like the good players, but also it kind of destroys the dreams for like the bottom tier players. So
Yeah, because like some of the bottom tier
yeah,
players that I was seeing on like Avant, Penta GG, Gravitas, and Mammoth, because Mammoth had to revamp their roster because nearly
yeah,
everybody went, to competitive teams for the 2020 season. It's
yeah,
like because like the way they worded it, it was basically just saying like the league wasn't sustainable, which means it wasn't making money. But whenever I
yeah,
used to watch OPL, because you guys would come on when I'm about to head to sleep for work, you guys are
yeah,
sponsored by like McDonald's. That's not like that's not a small company right there.
yeah. It's big brand.
That's pretty big. I don't know, McDonald's like here is
Yeah,
pretty big. And you guys
it's
have
pretty big.
the headset company. Was it
Yeah,
ESOF, right? Yeah, so
yeah.
you
It's
guys
soft. Yeah,
had sponsors. Like even like the Chiefs are sponsored by Marvel. I was
yeah.
like, what is going on here? Like I don't know if it wasn't sustainable. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
that, but I do know that things were improving. I saw viewership go up again because in like the
Yeah,
other seasons it was going down. Because like when
yeah,
I first started watching OPL, I thought it was a major region. I really did because I didn't know any better. And then I figured out it was a wild card region. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. I did enjoy the watching the region because like this is the region where Papa Smithy came from. Atlas, you have
yeah,
Spawn.
yeah.
You had the one guy on Golden Guardians. I forgot his name.
In
Inero.
arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this region offered a lot, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because like it takes
Yeah.
time to build up an esports scene because obviously it's still very new and you still have to
Mm-hmm.
go through several different hoops and bounds to get where you want to go. But
Yeah.
moving forward, you actually count as an NA resident now, so
Yeah.
hello. So now I guess we're the same now.
Yeah.
So what are your plans going into the 2020 off season?
So I guess you contacted me because of my recent tweet, but I made a tweet recently that I'm looking for a team, and I was given the opportunity to, even though my contract ends on November 16th. But I want to play overseas. Like obviously I can't play here anymore, so like if I want to keep competing, and I do, I have to go overseas. I think probably NA is like a good shot right now. Now that I count as an NA resident.
Mhm.
Um, I think I'm also very lucky that I got to finish second and I had a good showing this year. Because if I didn't, it would probably reduce my chances by a big margin. So yeah, I just want to play overseas. I guess that's my biggest goal right now, and hopefully I get a decent offer, and hopefully I'm lucky enough to. So
Hey man,
yeah.
I believe in you. I saw your gameplay. I think you'll be able to contest with some of the best players here because I know you're a very hard worker, and I know you can. And I know you'll be able to at least contest with Bjergsen. You'll take him down.
I mean, yeah, it would be an honor. So yeah, we'll see about that.
Bjergsen just went 0-6, so anything's possible.
Yeah, TSM's like a big meme right now. But...
So like, I just want to ask, how do you guys in Australia view like the LCS, the LEC, the LPL, the LCK when you see them perform on the international stage? NA performing on the international stage is kind of a meme, but
Yeah.
So like, is there any? Because I know you guys have Korean players in Oceania. Like you had like Direwolves had a few players over the years. Like Chiefs had them. Legacy,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure has one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Topun.
Topun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think that these players specifically in these other regions, these major regions, are like vastly far ahead of you? Because the consensus is, wildcard regions are that like behind the major regions. But like when you look at teams like Legacy and PSG and Machi, I mean, are you guys really that far behind?
Like I think NA is another level, like higher than Earth and like the minor regions. But I do think that probably the top OPL team would be at least like middle to bottom LCS tier. So like we wouldn't be too far off like the skill level of NA. I do think EU, however, is a lot better than NA. I do think EU is
Yeah.
another level higher than NA, and I guess that shows because two EU teams made quarters. So but I mean, I just think that NA's player base is a lot higher. I think the like infrastructure is a lot better,
Mm-hmm.
and also I mean, NA has been around for like a longer time than OS. Like OS hasn't been around for that long, and there's many advantages for NA over OS. So I think those reasons.
Now, when you say things like infrastructure and advantages, what do you specifically mean by that?
Just in terms of like coaching staff, like bigger gaming houses, more like money for like players, like coaching staff, like I guess just all that stuff, right? It's just more. It's just more of an upgrade to us, and yeah, I just think just better players as well. So it
Okay.
would be like an eye opener, but yeah.
So, is there any one team you want to specifically play for? You're fine with joining any academy team if need be, right?
Yeah, I think just playing in NA in general will be like really good for me. I don't really have that one team I want to join, but I guess like maybe the big teams like TSM, C9, like Team Liquid, those teams would be really sick. But I would probably just join any team to be honest. So yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. I forgot you got to play with Swiper. Swiper's, my God,
Yeah,
legacy
he's
player.
he's an OG.
My God, now he's an NA player. That's so crazy. I wonder how he feels about that. But yes, as we get toward the very end of this, I just want to say thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you, man. Hopefully everything goes well for you in the off season. Triple landed on FlyQuest Academy, so I know you have a shot at making it on a big org. I believe in you, man. Is there anything you want to say to any of the OC fans who will be seeing you potentially go over to North America and compete?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, if I do go over NA and go overseas, I want to prove to the OS fans that OS players do have talent, and we can compete with the like major players in major regions. And yeah, I guess I'll just do my best, and hopefully, I get lucky enough to compete in a major region. So yeah, we'll see about that.
What's crazy is that now FBI is one of the hottest free agents on the market.
Yeah,
Spam of
it's pretty crazy to me as well.
Because forgot the last thing I wanted to ask was, did you watch Ryoma's performance throughout the year on 100 Thieves?
I didn't get to see every game he played, but I did see some.
So I've asked Triple and I've asked a few others, what do you think really contributed to Ryoma not looking that good? Because people kept saying he wasn't worth the import slot.
I think, I mean, like yes, maybe he did underperform, but like also 2019, like he was the best mid laner knows, and I think he did deserve to get to play in NA. But maybe I think going from OPL to LCS straight away, maybe that's a pretty big jump. Cause especially for mid lane, like mid lane in NA is very stacked. Like you're versing like Bjergsen, you're versing Niski, you're versing like Power of Evil, you're versing like all these like big name players, and I think you need time to grow, right? Like I don't think FBI played that well like 2 years ago, like when he first joined Golden Guardians. Like I think you need to give a player some time to actually grow and get comfortable enough to like play with these players. But I think just like he probably just needs more time. I think like if he gets another year in LCS, I actually think he'll do a lot better than this year. And if I'm being honest, I don't even think he played that bad this year. I think he did underperform in some games, but also some games he had some good showings. Like his one Zoe game or like his one Ori game, I remember.
If you compare me to, it's like putting me against LeBron James in a pickup game in basketball. Yeah, I'm probably gonna look really, really bad. That's just how it's gonna work. But people don't understand. It's like it takes time to grow, and it's like people say, "Oh yeah, why don't you bring in new players? You bring a new player, and then you flame them, and then now they're all off their main team because like I guess competitive orgs look at like Reddit and Facebook, which is crazy, and then it's like, well, you're throwing away your newer player. You just wanted a new player. Like, it takes time to grow a new player. It doesn't
Yeah.
just happen overnight. And
Mhm.
I'm really happy the Oceania players that I saw, like, well, Destiny's not on Origin anymore. Like, you have
Yeah.
Destiny's a free agent. I thought Destiny wasn't even the issue with Origin. When I heard Destiny
Yeah,
got
like,
replaced,
same.
I was like, what? Wait, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. I could, hey, like, maybe like in a few years ago, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's probably pretty bad, but he actually played pretty
Mm.
solid. You had
Mhm.
Surnefire, Destiny, Lost, FBI. Yeah,
Yep.
you had these pretty solid Oceania players. And I even said,
Mhm.
you know, from watching you guys, you know, so many years, it was like you guys have solid players in certain positions that I think could do really well on LCS teams. I think having you
Mhm.
guys a part of NA, sad about the OPL is closing, but
Yep.
I think you guys specifically will be upgrades to a lot of teams. Actually, I think you would be an upgrade to a lot of the teams here, honestly.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah, so I am rooting for you, man. But yeah, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. Mr. Haeri, anything?
Mhm.
Any last words?
Yeah, obviously this was like my first time doing this kind
You
of
did
sort
pretty
of
good.
thing,
You
but
did really, really good.
yeah, yeah, thank you. And like, I guess thanks for having me.
Hmm.
It was a pleasure, and yeah, I guess I hope your YouTube channel like grows, man, and I'll subscribe as well. So yeah,
See you guys later. Goodbye.
see
Nightwing
you
is
guys.
signing out. Peace. Have a good day. Woo.
Hi there, guys! Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.